Tutti perfeito. Hello there.
Hi. Hello. I gotta turn down the music a bit. Sorry. 1 second. Hopefully that is a bit better. Is that better? Is the volumes good? First of all, hi everyone on TikTok. Second of all, hi everyone on Twitch. Third of all, sorry I took so long to go live. The starting screen was so long. Just so you guys know, here on TikTok, my main purpose is to get you guys over here. And you don't know what I'm pointing at. I'm pointing at my camera, my much nicer camera, where you can see all my imperfections and insecurities. Where it's my Twitch channel, which is super chill, super dope, super swag, super sick, super awesome, super epic. But yeah, if you guys go over to my Twitch channel, I will be today we're doing a little thing that I haven't done in a while. Hi. Dude, Henrik has some good music. So I haven't done this in a while. I'm doing Therapy Thursdays. And for those of you who don't know what Therapy Thursdays are, I stole the idea from Miki. She does a little thing called Mental Mondays. I like to do Therapy Thursdays. For me, these kind of streams just feel like therapy to me. It's basically a just chatting stream, honestly, but at the same time, it is like If you guys have any life issues going on, any struggles you want to talk about, even any like opinions or hot takes you want to talk about, that's basically all it is. We're just yapping. And I can give you my 2 cents and my piece of advice for maybe what you're going through. I can talk about how I've been. I can talk about my mental struggles recently and what I've been going through, my behind the scenes in my life, and we can just yap about it. In no way am I licensed or do I think that you should take all of my advice 100% as if I'm a professional giving you advice. But nonetheless, here I am. I'm here to give advice for what you guys are doing, here to yap, here to just chat about random things for a couple hours and probably tell you guys a little bit about what I've been going through recently, how my week's been going, what's been going on in my head. Now that I feel like I'm getting old, slowly climbing to what's the female version of unk status? Is it auntie status? I don't Thanks for the follow, Sharp Edge Sword. Hansky, what's yappening? Literally this. Also, hi Bunda. Aunt status, grandma status. I'm not even that old, but it feels like I'm old. I don't know. I feel like there's something that happens from ages like there's something that happens when you graduate high school at like 17, 18. I graduated at 17 because my birthday was like on this cusp where I was like the youngest person in my classes. So I graduated at 17, but still, there's something that happens when you graduate around like 17 or 18. When you leave high school, you get your diploma and you're off to college or the workforce or whatever you decide to do, right? There's something that happens in your brain from the gap from there all the way to I want to say like 25, obviously, because your brain fully solidifies at 25. Thank you so much for a follow. But I think the first time you genuinely really see like a stark contrast difference between where your brain was when you were in your teens to like in your 20s, I would say honestly like 23 years old. 22, 23. That's where for me personally, I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but I'm 23, right? 22 to 23. Something happened this past year in my brain where all of my opinions changed. All of my beliefs suddenly like thank you so much for your follow. Critical thinking. Suddenly I knew how to do that. Suddenly, social media didn't really get a say on my opinions. Suddenly, I went from being like, oh, hardcore, this is how it should be, or like overly optimistic or overly pessimistic. Something happened where I used to go on one extreme to another extreme growing up. Thank you for the follow. Like throughout high school or even like throughout college or whatever, I would always be like on one side of the extremes depending on what the opinion is, whether it's a political, whether it's religious, whether it's is Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper the better drink? I don't know. I mean, I do know. It's Diet Coke, but thanks for the follow. But something happened in my brain where instead of being so extreme, hot and cold on each side, thank you so much for your follow. Within from this jump that my brain did from 22 to 23, I feel like I am such a middle ground person now. I'm so like I used to think I was a middle ground person. I look back on old Hannah and I'm concerned. I'm concerned that she ever thought she was a middle ground person because she absolutely was not. I'm concerned that she genuinely thought that a lot of her opinions and beliefs came from herself and not from the people who influenced her surrounding her. I'm really concerned that she genuinely believed those things. However, I think it's a common thing. I think if you're under the age of 20, most of your opinions and beliefs you didn't get on your own. Majority, I would go as far to say 90% of your opinions and your beliefs before the age of 20 is largely, massively influenced simply by the people you're surrounded with and the social media that you're intaking, the media that you're watching. And if you think otherwise, so did I. I also thought otherwise. And you look back on it when you get older and you're like, oh, well, maybe those things that the old people always say to me, maybe my mom saying, oh, it's that dang phone, or maybe whenever my family said, oh, you shouldn't hang out with that person because you're going to be just like that person, or da 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 da. You start to grow up and realize, oh, like, I knew that my situation was different because I live in a different era of life than my parents did or than this older generation did. So I knew my situation was different to an extent, but that made me write off everything that they said. Thanks for the follow. But maybe they were on to something. Maybe the fact that they've lived this much life, maybe they actually maybe I should take into account what they're saying. Thanks for the follow. Maybe they were right. Uh-oh, maybe they were right. Even the annoying things I didn't want to take as right. Thanks for the follow. Even though, granted, I think a lot of the older generation does struggle with having a lot of things not right, but that doesn't, their main messages, the things that you've heard throughout history from your parents and family, maybe they were right? And I think the hard part and the hard truth is that we don't want to believe that our parents are right because it means that we have no idea what we're doing. And I think once you hit a certain age, you realize your parents have no idea what they're doing, and you want to believe you have a little more control in your life than your parents do, but your parents are further along in life than you, and they struggle with having control in their life. So you're actually never going to fully have a grasp on life, which is actually, believe it or not, as opposite as it works in your brain, it actually frees you to realize, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe it's okay that I'm not that much in control, you know? And I think also it's also the fact that with that older generation, a lot of times they can invalidate your emotions by saying certain things in certain ways. I think there's a healthy way for those advices and advicees and 2 cents to be given to someone. I think you can give someone your advice and your 2 cents, and this is what we're supposed to have therapy for, right? Supposedly therapists are supposed to be able to give you this good advice, this good practical use advice, while also validating the feelings and the things that you went through, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Unfortunately, we get the advice without the validation from majority of parents and families these days. There are some healthy ones, but unfortunately, majority of our households are unhealthy these days. And then secondly, in therapy, okay, I don't know if you guys knew this. Another thing that's happened as I've gotten older, I find anything so interesting. I love talking. I feel like I'm that old person, that old grandma, grandpa that you talk to, and you're like, oh my gosh, they cannot stop talking about literally nothing. They have so many stories to talk about, so many opinions on everything. They just want to yap, and give advice and I feel like I'm turning into that. Bye, Soggy, come back soon. However, I do want to say that, oh shoot, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, as I've gotten older, I also have realized that everything is interesting to me and I love learning. I didn't realize how much I love learning until I got old enough that, oh my gosh, Hunter, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Mwah. W Prime sub from Hunter. Can we get W's in the chat? Thank you so much. Thanks for the follow, Loot. I don't know how to say your user. Some of y'all's usernames are hard to say, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, so now that I love learning things, right? Stony, thanks for a follow. I've been especially now that we're in a digital age and you can literally learn anything you want to learn ever, which is so sick. Oh yeah, I wonder, oh, I'm having an issue with plumbing, or I have acne on my face. You can literally do a deep dive online for every Harvard lesson there ever was, every master class there ever was, every document or study there ever was on these things. You can literally, you don't just have to go on social media on TikTok and search things up. You can actually get the like scientifical, if that's even a word, evidence behind things. And it's so interesting. Thank you so much for the follow. Thanks for the hydrate. I'll hydrate with water instead of Diet Coke this time. Sad days. Scientifical. I knew I followed you for a reason. Yeah, most of you guys probably followed me for my superfluous, embellished, terrific vocabulary. That's another thing I like learning. I love fun vocabulary words, and I love just sliding them into everyday conversations. They're so fun. Okay, but back to the therapy topic. Sorry, little ADHD sidetrack there. Indubitably. That's such a good word to say. Thank you so much for the bits, Niche. I gotta go. I have to study for tomorrow, so bye. But I'm struggling in my weight loss journey. Do you have any advice? All right. Let me put a pin in the weight loss journey. Let me finish my thought with the therapy journey. Otherwise, I'm never going to finish this thought. So I'm just going to get this out there. Also, everyone on TikTok, if you are here, if you guys switch over to my Twitch, which is HNNHXS, or link in my bio for my Twitch, I am talking to my Twitch chat a lot more. I don't really read my TikTok chat. I mostly read my Twitch chat. Today is Therapy Thursday, so we're just doing a lot of yapping, a lot of talking about your struggles, talking about my struggles, advice, anything really. So if you have anything you're going through right now and you want to yap about it, this is the place. Join the Twitch. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so did you guys know? I'm trying to remember who the other person is. Let me see if I can search it up real quick. So our government actually decided how we were going to teach therapists to do therapy. One second. And we chose between two famous psychologists. One of them, you know the name of very easily, Freud. And the other one is Adler, I'm pretty sure. So, while both Sigmund Freud and Alfred Adler were influential figures in the development of psychoanalytic theory, they differ significantly in their perspectives on human motivation and the roots of psychological problems. Freud emphasized the role of unconscious, sexual and aggressive drives, while Adler focused on striving for superiority stemming from the feelings of inferiority from childhood. So we did this very, I want to say, that we ended up going, sorry, my brain. So, fun fact, our government ended up choosing kind of a little bit between these two. Our government ended up leaning, when teaching psychology, on Adler's side, actually, believe it or not. So, unfortunately, with Alfred Adler, a lot of his beliefs and a lot of his studies had a lot to do with, almost like, it'll be easier to explain with example, because I'm not the best at explaining things. Thanks for the follow. That's why that's not my job. So an example would be like, Adler found that people with high confidence usually performed better in life. People with high confidence usually lived a better, more fulfilling life. So Adler was like, hey, yo, how do we give people that confidence? So they tried to almost, artificially create confidence in childhood. One of those examples being participant trophies and participant awards. I don't know if you were a part of my generation, but when I grew up, you would get a participant trophy or a participant award for literally anything and everything. It didn't matter how hard you worked. You could literally do nothing. You could just stand there. You could just show up and you got a trophy for it. Unfortunately, we found nowadays that actually didn't do anything. If anything, it actually made things worse because it made us lazier as a whole rather than increasing our confidence. We actually found later in life that you can't artificially grow confidence. Now, that's just one example of how us and as a government choosing to lean into Adler's concept of psychology has actually really harmed us as a society. Aimbot Pro, thank you so much for the sub for 12 months. Oh my goodness. And on a 7-month streak is crazy. Dude, it's your year anniversary. Really quick, anytime anybody has been on my channel for a year and has been subbed for a year straight, I actually sing them a little happy birthday. And same with if they've done 2 years, every year that they've been here. So really quickly, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aimbot. Happy birthday to you. I know it's cringe. But leave me alone. I think I'd be more confident if I could incline bench 315, but I don't know. Yeah, I honestly, it's the only reason I go to the gym. One day. I actually, if you guys can't tell, I actually can incline bench 315. Actually, look, I've started going to the gym, and it's not much at all, but like I'm starting to obtain biceps. I feel so, but you can't tell. That's the cool part is you literally can't tell. It doesn't make you look like masculine to have muscle as a female because you literally can't tell. Like you just wouldn't notice, but then, oh yeah. Anyways, sorry. I don't know. It made me happy. It makes me happy. Sometimes I'll just go up to my friends or my family and I'll be like, "Hey, look at this. Look at this. Can you tell? Can you tell that I have a bicep? Can you tell?" Thank you so much for the sub, Jens. W sub. Tier 1 for 6 months in advance. Oh my goodness. Can we get W's in the chat for Jens? Hi. Highlighted message. Psychology is rampantly fringe. Believe it or not, my mother was an ABA therapist that diagnoses autism in children early, and she tells me how corrupt the DSM-5 is. I mean, yeah, it's messed up. I mean, there's also an aspect of we're never fully gonna. Unfortunately, a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists will prescribe things based off of. It's really just our medical industry in general is kind of like bonked. You imagine you're a doctor, right? Or a psychiatrist or whatever, and you have maybe 15 minutes with a patient. Maybe 15 minutes with a patient, and you have 50 plus patients in one day. Like you're working 9-hour shifts a day, 50 plus patients, maybe 15 minutes with your patient, right? All you can do, especially if it's a new patient, is try to prescribe them whatever they need based off 15 minutes of information that you're taking from a patient on a for their word, trusting their words basis and giving your best shot. How is that supposed to work? I think it's part of why I think I'm not like, I think Big Pharma is corrupt, obviously, but I'm not like I'm not anti-doctor. I think doctors are great. I think surgeons are great. I think if we went back to the 1800s, and we went back to only our human bodies and only homeopathic and only this, I think that we actually would bring back, like, the flu would actually kill everyone and stuff like that. Like, the cold used to kill people, y'all. The cold used to kill masses. It's because of medical technology they don't. However, there is an issue rooting in more of the system, I believe, than it is the medicine itself. And I think like what I explained, where it's like you only get 15 minutes for a patient, you have 50 minutes a day. Like, how the heck are you supposed to actually know everything about this patient? How are you supposed to know it's not stress related versus like, all you know is they have a headache. All you know is they've had a headache and it's happened for like 2 days in a row. Do you know that their dad maybe beat them at home and hit their head a few times? No. Otherwise, you diagnose them with something different. You know, like, I'm just saying. Obviously, it's a terrible example, but like it's not gonna work. You know, it's only gonna work like 50-50, you know? And I think that's also part of why they prescribe band-aids rather than actual solutions, is because how the heck are you supposed to find the root of the problem in 15 minutes in order to give a solution, which is why you have to go to doctor after doctor after doctor. It's really annoying. Thanks for the hydrate, and our doctors are all exhausted. Honestly, if you're a doctor or if you are in the medical industry, I think sometimes, yeah, you guys get it wrong, but overall, like, thank you. Y'all are doing God's work. Like, it's actually, I know firsthand from, well, I know secondhand how mentally draining and exhausting that is. Thanks for the hydrate, sir. All that being said, back to the whole Sigmund Freud and something Adler, Alfred Adler. So our psychology, like, our government literally chose, when teaching therapists and psychiatrists how to do like psychology and therapy, right? We went a lot with more of Adler's idea, which actually ruined us. If you haven't noticed, a lot of therapists, unfortunately, and a lot of therapy these days, I don't know if you know someone in your personal life and how annoying it can be when you know someone. I mean, I give grace because I've been there, and I feel like most people who first start going to therapy have been there, and it's not fully their fault. But have you ever met someone who they started going to therapy and every conversation with them goes a little bit something like this? Yeah, like, they literally change voices. I know that's how you feel, but this is my boundary, and I need you to respect that, because this is my boundary and I'm protecting my peace. And it's like, okay, I understand. Like, I understand, because there's an aspect of that that's true and good. But it's literally like they change personalities and they don't know actually how to use that. They don't actually know how to implement it. So they're implementing it in such a strange, foreign way. I don't know if you guys have experienced that. I have experienced that so much in my life and also in my family's lives and whatnot. Part of why that happens, part of why most of us as a society, I'm a firm believer that therapy is great. It's amazing for you. Even as like a Christian, I believe that it's so helpful to have therapy, right? However, I think it depends on if you have a good therapist. And I think a bad therapist is going to be a therapist who very much leans onto Adler's idea of psychology, which is basically, let's just focus on the past. Let's reminisce on your feelings and your past. How does that make you feel? Which isn't bad. That isn't bad. If you couple that with, okay, now the way that you reacted to that situation wasn't okay. Let's understand how we can regulate our emotions going forward so we don't act like that again. Let's get some like constructive criticism and like how we can literally work this out. Let's get some proactive tips and advice and things that we can do actively to change this and to change how our brains are thinking about this and to change whenever, maybe until you can change those belief systems, what can we do practically to help you to regulate your emotions and your hormones and whatnot so that you can not freak out next time when you do have a trauma response, things like that, right? Instead of, how does that how does that make you feel? Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they weren't very nice to you. Yeah. And we're not having conversations about, hey man, like, the conversations are only, yeah, no, like, yeah, I'm glad you can see that, like, you were wrong in that, but you have a reason for that, and this is the root of that. Yeah. And then you just leave it there. That's going to harm you. That's going to turn us into a victim mentality, like, society. It's not actually going to lead us into growth, because growth comes from doing the hard thing. And I don't think it's very hard to validate someone's feelings and to feel validated, to feel things. I think it's hard. I think there's an aspect of that that definitely needs to happen. I don't think that's wrong, but I do think it's wrong if we leave it just at that step without taking any actionable steps in order to change our like root belief systems, our root, like the things that are causing us to take these actions, and also giving us like some literal practical responses for when we're in moments that trigger us. That isn't just, hey, this is my boundary, because that's not always going to work. You can't just rely on other people to other people are unreliable. You yourself is unreliable. What makes you think other people are going to be more reliable than you? You can't rely on other people to change their behaviors around you every time. Yeah, you can of course ask, and it definitely helps to surround yourself with people who are able to work with you and your needs. However, like, it's not reliable to expect that of people, or to just cut everyone out who doesn't follow your rules and your needs and your exact boundaries, because it's not going to ever happen. You're not going to maintain a stable job. You're not going to be able to have children and be a proper adult parent doing things like that. Like, it's just not how life works. Unfortunately, that's not how humans work. That's step one. That's not the final boss. Anyways, all that being said, in your opinion, would therapy be better if it was short term in the sense of accomplishing a goal of building up better thought patterns, lifestyle, etc.? No, I do genuinely believe that therapy on a long-term basis is actually better. I think similarly to the concept of, I believe that if you have a doctor that you see monthly, that's going to be a lot better than, oh, suddenly I'm having issues and I go see a doctor one time, because that doctor is only going to have 15 minutes with you, versus a family doctor that's known you for 15 years, 15 minutes every month for 15 years. They're going to have a better idea of what you need. And I think that there's an aspect of that with therapy as well, that instead of only going to try to find a solution when there's a problem, I think there's an aspect of being proactive and having someone that you can talk to and bounce off of, and that can give you, I think as humans, we're always going to be learning, and the role of therapist is to give us not only someone to talk to that is confidential. So like, let's say you have like marriage issues or something. Me personally, I don't think it's healthy to go to your parents or your friends about your marriage issues. I think airing out your personal information with your significant other is actually going to harm your relationship more than help it. I think there's an aspect of that you should be very careful with, considering there is a lot of abuse and manipulation with keeping the significant other quiet because of saying stuff like that. Oh, I don't think you should go to others about our problems. I think that's scary. However, that's why I think therapists are awesome, because you can share those problems in a confidential setting with your therapist without accidentally, because when you're emotional and when you're hurt in like a relationship or something, you're going to accidentally talk down about that relationship while you're talking to other people about it. And other people are only going to get one piece of information, where a therapist, literally the entire time you're with that therapist, they're taught to see it from a bird's eye point of view and not from a, what do you call it, where they have like an interest or a favorable interest. What's the word? There's a word for that. But there's like, they're not going to have that stigma going in, and they're also going to be taught to ask the right questions to get the full point of view, where your friends and your family are not going to do that. And also, you're going to probably end up only like having like a negative view on your whoever you love, right? And you don't want that. You want to work together to heal whatever this is between you. So I think like that's an example of why I think that having a therapist long term, if it's a good therapist, would be so helpful and invaluable, especially because I think you're going to have multiple goals throughout your life. So if you have a short-term therapist for accomplishing that goal or that pattern or that lifestyle, and fixing these rooted beliefs, and then you think you're good, I don't think we're ever going to be 100%. I think if you genuinely think you right now is perfect the way you are, I think you're lying to yourself, and pride has gotten so bad in your soul and in your heart that your eyes are blind. No one is perfect. No one is 100% good. we're always going to have things to work on. Always, make your therapist your friend. I wouldn't even say that, because I think that there's an aspect where your therapist at the end of the day needs to be your therapist and not your friend and not your family. You can love your therapist and you can have like a mutual respect for each other and like enjoy each other's presence and like be friendly. But I think there's also an aspect of understanding like this person, the whole reason I go to them is so that they're a third party. They know the most intimate sides of me. So to an extent, yeah, they're like friendly. We're friends to an extent, but we're not hanging out outside of therapy. Like, because otherwise you can't be my therapist anymore. Cornelius, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Let's go. 10 gifted subs. Bicep. Yeah. I don't know why. The more that I work out, the more I want to just flex all the time. I don't know if that's just a common thing or if that's just me. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Can we get W's in the chat? Also, hi, real quick, everybody from TikTok. I am currently live on Twitch as well. So if you guys come join me over on Twitch, I am a lot more talkative to chat over here on Twitch. And that's where I'm like looking most of the time is to the camera over here. But yeah, thank you, Olaf. Thank you for the follow. Modern therapy is also not geared towards men at all. Talking about problems is not a bad thing, but they don't focus on how men need to feel. Okay? Women need to feel validated. Men need to feel important and useful. Therapy also never focuses on physical/gut health. Taking a depressed dude and giving him a mission and then having him work out regularly would fix 95% of them. I think that there is a aspect of truth to what you're saying, LDM, but I also think that you're not fully looking at it. I think that the validation aspect everyone needs. I think women maybe need it a little more than men, but men need to be validated as well. Let's just get that straight. We have the same needs, just some needs are more for one gender than the other most of the time, not all of the time. However, I do think that there's also an aspect of you seeing, like, yes, I think that therapy can only do so much if there's not actions paired with it. But I think that's also the role of a good therapist, is to give you actionable steps. Hey, maybe when you're struggling with like anxiety, go for a walk. Move your body. Hey, maybe this has to, like, maybe you should go look at like another doctor for your health here as well. I think that there can be an aspect of like hormone health and gut health and whatnot that can affect your mood. A therapist, I think, is one of many tools. I don't think you should simply rely on a therapist or a human, because like I said, humans fail, to do all of the fixing. I think that they're going to help you a lot with having something to A, validate you, B, to just speak on things in a confidential third party, C, it's going to give you the ability to have some actionable steps for, oh, when you're having a panic attack, start doing this is a common one. When you have a panic attack next time, try to tell yourself, what am I tasting in my mouth? What am I feeling on my hands? What am I smelling when I breathe in? What do I hear going on outside of me? When you start to disassociate, that's how you ground yourself and bring you back in a literal biochemical, like neurological way. Thank you for the follow. It's kind of like when you have hiccups, if you breathe in like a bunch without breathing out, it almost resets the diaphragm for whatever reason. Thanks for a follow, but you stop having hiccups. It's the same kind of concept where it's not even necessarily that you have to do this thing. It's not a long-term fix, but it's something to help you in that moment so you can come down and think logically, because it's literally a neurological, psychological cue for your body to calm down. And so I think having therapy to help you with those things as well is huge. It's massive. Even if a lot of your issues come from hormone or health or whatever, I think having therapy is going to still help you so much. Like, what? And in the meantime, also pursue things like exercise, also pursue things like eating cleaner, you know? And like as you combine all these things, it's going to help you a lot. Granted, I mean, this is a totally other conversation. Me as a Christian, spiritually, I think that no matter how much self-help you do, you will still have a part of you that is empty and broken. And the only thing that can fix that and cure that and genuinely have you properly in the right place is Jesus, because we were never made for this earth. We were made for heavenly places, which is why we never feel like we belong, no matter how hard we try, because we don't belong here. We belong in heaven with our Father, and he's the only one who he's the one who created us, so he's the only one who knows exactly what we need. Exactly, right? That being said, if you don't believe that, I still thank you so much for a follow. Genuinely believe that therapy, along with eating clean and eating healthy and exercising, is so helpful, so beyond helpful. But yeah, so yeah, those are my thoughts on therapy. It's such an interesting, like, you could go so as deep as you want to on that. Nobody truly grows up. We only learn how to carry out our ghosts. That sounds like something from a poem somewhere. Sorry, I have a stuffy nose. I actually kind of need to like blow my nose. I don't know why this happens, but whenever I yap a lot, my nose gets stuffy.
Bobr, kurwa! Ja pierdolę, jakie bydle!
Where?
Bober!
I'm gonna go grab a tissue. I'll be like 2 seconds. Okay. I'm big. Alright. Hey, Hannah, my mom and my dad got divorced a couple of months ago, and my mom has had some struggle with it. And she has now gone to a mental wellness retreat abroad and will be back in 3 weeks. Do you have any advice on how to deal with the fallout of parental breakup and how to make things easier for her when she comes back? First of all, that is so sweet. That is like actually one of the sweetest things I've heard. Cornelius, bless your heart. Literally, the fact that it's your first reaction to go, hey, like, my parents are going through something. How do I make their lives easier? Oh, that's so sweet. I'm gonna cry. Okay. So your mom went on a wellness retreat abroad, and she'll be back in 3 weeks. Any advice on how to deal with the fallout of parental breakup and how to make things easier for her she comes back? Well, first of all, I do think therapy is awesome. Like I said, I recommend therapy for everyone. I think that sometimes it's hard to find a good therapist right away. But just like anything else, if you just keep trying and showing up, eventually you'll find what suits you the best. I think it's just gonna take time. Unfortunately, when things like this happen, I think the best course of action. Okay, I'm trying to think. All right, even if you're not Christian, this is just what comes to my mind first. This doesn't have to be a spiritual thing, but what comes to mind first is the book of Job. And in the book of Job, if you're not familiar with it, Job has this whole, like, he has everything. He goes from having everything to nothing. His body's covered in sores. All his children are dead. All his things are taken from him. And Job is just in so much pain and detriment, and he just doesn't understand it. And his friends come along, and what his friends decide to do is tell him, hey, if you just repent, Job did nothing wrong, by the way. If you just repent, like, you had to have done something wrong. Da 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 da. And it actually ended up making Job curse at God eventually. And it makes me think, okay, like, that story actually showed me what, when I was reading that story, it showed me what I think that we actually genuinely need in our friends and in our family in times of hardship. And it's not to come in and try to give them the right advice, try to say the right thing, try to make them feel better, try to fix whatever it is they're going through. I don't think we're supposed to fix what people are going through. I think we're supposed to sit with them in it. I think my best piece of advice is when your friend or your family member or someone is going through something really difficult, don't come in and try to fix it. Come in and sit with them in it. You don't even have to, like, you don't even have to say, like, oh, I'm so sorry, this is hard. You just come up next to them and you do not leave their side. Don't try to make them feel better. Don't try to just, oh, they're having a hard time cleaning their room. I'll help them clean their room. Oh, they're sitting here in silence and they're crying. I'll sit next to them. And if they want to lean on my shoulder to cry, it's here. Just be there. I think that's the number one piece of advice. I think most people don't get annoyed. I think it actually hurts more when people try to fix what you're going through, because it feels like people are trying to fix you.
Perfect.
I think it actually hurt. It even sometimes makes things worse. I think we all as humans innately just want someone to sit through it with. I think that's why marriage is such a beautiful thing. And it's probably why it's such a hard thing for your mom, is because when you marry someone, it's not just saying, oh, I'm in love with you. It's saying, I'm committing for life to sitting in it with you. Whether it be the highest of highs, the most beautiful branch atop a beautiful tree that overlooks a beautiful sunset, or whether it be the absolute trenches where we're getting stinky trench foot, our bodies have bruises all over, and it sucks. I'm committing to lifetime of sitting in it with you and witnessing your life so that someone knows everything you're going through and vice versa. And you're both it's just so cool. Marriage is such a cool thing to me. You're both saying, I'm risking it all for you. You're both risking it all. It's not just one person. You can both get hurt from this. You can both lose in this situation, and you're both, that's what makes it so beautiful, is that it's like, it's such a bond of trust. And that's why it probably makes it so hard. And so if anything, now that your mom doesn't have your dad to sit in it with her, she has her son. And that doesn't mean you have to hold all of her weight on your shoulders. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean you have to try to fix it. It doesn't mean you have to try to make her feel better. It literally just means you're signing up to witness her and her lowest of lows and stand by her side in it. And just sit there with her. Be in it with her. Sit in it with her. That's it. That's my advice. And I'm sorry to hear that that's what's going on. And also, literally the sweetest heart ever, that the first thing you had in your brain was, how can I help my mom? Like, so sweet. Is my internet being cringe, or is the stream being weird? Uh-oh. Is it doing it again? Uh-oh. Not again. It wasn't doing it yesterday. Why is it doing it right now? My stream's been doing this thing where internet is bad. Is it bad on TikTok? No. Also, everyone on TikTok, I'm currently over on my Twitch, HNNHXS, or link in bio. That's who I'm mostly talking to. That's the chat I'm mostly talking to. That's everything. Just so you know, therapy with Dr. Hannah. I just got here first time, and your voice is so relaxing. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. I used to hate my voice. Fun fact. I used to hate a lot of things about myself, but as I grew up, I started to really enjoy myself a lot more. That sounds weird. Stream is cooked for me as well. Oh, it's lagging. At least the audio's fine. Yeah, well, at least the audio's fine. Okay, it should be better right now. Sometimes stream likes to lock in, and sometimes stream absolutely loses it. Hi, hello. Hi, Pine. I don't know why my stream does this. It's actually genuinely something I've been trying to fix. I usually when I open up Task Manager, it's not using that much memory right now. My CPU is about like 30 to 45%, like 45 max. Even right now it's at 33% and my memory's at 45%. I don't think that should really be what's messing with my, I don't think it's my memory or my CPU that's messing with my stream. It literally, my kbps just drops, like my frame rates just drop randomly sometimes, and it's also not my internet because I have other, like, Nick sometimes is here working on stuff and his internet is always just fine. Even like while this is happening to me. And like my internet on my phone is fine. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Papa, thank you so much for a Prime sub. Hello. Mwah. Thank you so much. I honestly, like, I'm getting to the point where hi Smelly. I'm getting to the point where I literally don't know what to do with my PC because it should be a really good PC and I don't really know what the issue is. Came here from TikTok, can confirm the stream is lagging hard. I really don't know what the issue is. I'm getting this close to like actually taking it to like a what do you call it? Like somebody who fixes gaming PCs. Your presence itself overwhelms the connection. I don't know. If somebody is like super nerdy and knows everything about PCs and streaming and everything, I don't know what the fix would be cuz I'm not even playing a game right now. It just sometimes it'll randomly drop. Smelly! Okay, guys, if you don't know Smelly and Izon. Wait, Smelly, you're hanging out with Izon and Luan this week, right? From my understanding, some very prominent, this community, first of all, if you're not a part of the Discord and you're in the Twitch right now, !Discord in chat, and it'll give you a link to the Discord, and if you join the Discord and react to the rules on the Discord, then you'll have full access to the Discord. And our community is actually probably the coolest community actually ever, and I'm totally unbiased saying that. The amount of you guys who have found like literal friends, like IRL friends through our Discord community, the amount of you guys who found friends that you like literally play video games with every day with now through our community. Some of you guys even went off and made your own servers for friends simply made from this community. Or some of you guys even, we have like, our Discord community is very much like literally anything you could think of. I think it's very organized. Our mods are amazing. They're also really chill, really funny people. But like we have a gym chat and like you guys are literally giving each other gym advice and like posting like your gym workouts and like your gains and like hyping each other up. It's so sick. We have a car chat because I know some of you guys are super into cars and motorcycles. I don't know anything about that. Luan! 42 months is crazy. Thanks for the follow. Gang, where you at? Smelly Sallow and I are here waiting for the meetup. Dude, Izon's showing up to like tomorrow, right? Dude, I need to come see you guys. I really want to go to Europe and meet up with all of my European viewers. I want to start like hosting like meetups. That would be just so fun doing meetups. Speaking of which, I'll be at TwitchCon San Diego 2025, and I'll also be at Anime Expo Los Angeles 2025. So if you guys catch me at any of those things, please come up and say hi, please. Like, it makes me feel so cool. I feel so special. I don't know, Luan. It's an issue we've been having. My CPU and my RAM are fine. And my memory is like perfectly fine. It's getting up to like a max of 45% on memory and a max of 40% on CPU. That's relatively okay. The internet, best internet I can get right now. And no one else is having issues on this internet except this PC is the only one having issues. So it has to, I feel like it has to be a PC issue. I really don't know. I don't know what else to do. So I'm just thinking, thanks for the posture check. I'm thinking of getting not a new PC. That's very expensive. I'm thinking of simply getting like a new, like not new. I'm thinking of taking my PC to somebody. It's just I don't know how to tell who's actually like a good professional to take my PC to. Um, the screen is black right now? Is it really that bad? I don't see that on my end. Yes, do meetups in Europe. That would be so fun. Oh, is it really that bad? Oh no. Am I gonna have to end stream early? That's actually really sad. I genuinely don't know what the issue is. I need to fix this too because I'm going to Japan in May, end of May, so the end of this next month. And so I want to like have my PC fixed so I can like stream as much as possible before I leave. Hi, Elgads. Hello. No, the screen isn't black. Well, I don't know. I don't know who to like. I'm only getting my. I can only tell from where on OBS where it has the kbps and dropped frames. Like it's dropping really hard right now, and from what you guys are saying in chat. Micro Center fixes gaming PCs, but like figuring out. I live in Utah, and I don't think Utah is the biggest for gaming. I could be wrong. So I don't know who to take my PC to and like who to trust because some people like having your PC is like a very valuable thing that letting people touch like they could literally break everything so easily. I don't know. Actually, Bubbles, it depends on like where you are. If you're right now thinking about going to TwitchCon, but you're looking at the hotels and Airbnbs and you're like, this is freaking expensive. There's actually a train that's free. I don't know if it's a train. It's something else. It's called something else, but it's a train. It's free. And if you go stay like literally anywhere where the train stops at further away from TwitchCon, you can still walk to TwitchCon because as long as you're walking distance from that train in your Airbnb or your hotel, that's way cheaper because it's a bit further away. You can just make it to the train and then take the public transportation literally right in front of the convention center. It literally lets you out right in front of the convention center. So you don't have to pay $1 million to stay near TwitchCon. But I do recommend the sooner you do it, the cheaper it is, because the closer to the convention, people will hike up prices like stupid. Josh, thank you so much for the sub. Mwah. Also, if you guys do meet me at TwitchCon, I want to do like going to get dinner or a brunch or something with everyone, like as a meetup, or like playing some like board games or something. Like I want to do some sort of meetup. And if you guys don't know, last TwitchCon, I did this thing. Last TwitchCon, I had literally everyone that recognized me. I didn't even know I was going to TwitchCon until last minute, so I kind of announced it really last minute. But every single person who recognized me at TwitchCon, I had you guys sign my badge. I think I missed only like 3 people because I started having people sign my badge on the second day out of 3 days. But I want to do that again this year. And I want this badge to be as full as possible. Thank you for the follow. And I literally like, even if I grow to be like a massive Twitch streamer, which who knows, I still want to keep doing this, even if it means like front and back, or if it means I add like another card or something to it. I think it would just be so fun to collect these every single year. And just see how much our community grows. It says the link invite is invalid or expired. Strange. Here, I'll give you an invite real quick. There we go. If you guys join the Discord via the pinned comment on my Twitch, all you have to do is react to the rules in the channel, which is saying that you've read the rules for the Discord. It's very basic rules. It's basically don't be overly political, don't be a butthole, don't be creepy, and we're good. That way, it's just the easiest way for our mods to be able to monitor things. So if you react to those rules, it gives you access to the rest of the Discord, allows you to basically see all the rest of the Discord because all you'll see is rules until you react to it. But it also means that you read the rules and you're liable to the rules. Hi Cash. Hello. Message or find SFan at TwitchCon. He can help you with your PC. He's a nice guy. I'm pretty sure SFan isn't SFan like a big Twitch streamer? Is he not? That sounds familiar. I'm also probably not gonna bring my PC to TwitchCon. Like, I just don't like I don't really see myself bringing my PC in a plane with me. I just don't foresee that. I have a gaming laptop though. I am thinking of maybe sometimes when I travel, depending on if it's for work or what my travel is for, sometimes bringing my gaming laptop and streaming off of that, even when I'm not home, like depending on if it's even possible, you know? So San Diego TwitchCon tickets don't drop until like I think they don't drop until like August or September. They like TwitchCon San Diego's in October. You won't be able to buy tickets until like a month or two before the convention. But the prices don't increase. The only thing you'll miss out on is maybe like a ticket sells out. But usually there's like a VIP like weekend pass, which gets you like the invite to like this one big event at the end of TwitchCon where everyone celebrates. That is the only one that sells out quickly. Everything else, like they always make sure there's enough of everything else. Hi, Brian. Network traffic has different priorities depending on what data. Phone calls get higher priority so they don't stutter and lag. The Twitch stream is probably on too low of priority. I'm not sure what you can really do about it. I think you can tell your internet router that your PC, the specific device, is a high priority device, so it gets all the bandwidth first and splits it between other devices. Ah. Okay. I'm copying this and sending it to Nick to remind me later. Wherever he is. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Nice. Thank you, Snowfox. That's so cringe. You can ask for... Wait, when's your birthday, Bubbles? Hi, Brian. I have a June birthday. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you guys. I didn't want to say anything either because I didn't know if it was going to happen yet until the time comes. But, actually, basically, in June, when my birthday is, I planned a birthday trip that I've always wanted to do with some friends. So I should be making a lot of content about it as well. I'm going to be making a lot of content about Japan, but I'm doing 2 of my dream trips that have always been my dream. Like, I didn't have a lot of money growing up. I didn't get to travel much growing up. These 2 places have been places I've wanted to go to since I was literally a small, wee little child. In the end of June, around my birthday time, I'm going to Hawaii with friends. And it's pretty much confirmed now. So that's super exciting. And so I get to make content. I get to make like the Japan nerdy gaming anime just like food side of everything whenever I'm in Japan. I want to do that experience where you get to like wear a kimono and everything as well. Like I've just always loved Japan since I was a kid. And I'm not going to lie, it started with anime. Anime was like I started watching anime when I was like 7 years old. I was literally a child, like, watching, like, and it wasn't because my family introduced it to me. It's because my sister was a little bit older and her friend showed it to her, and I saw my sister watching an anime, and then I just got addicted to anime since I was a kid. And then that led to me just getting interested in Japan as a whole and Asia as a whole, and then I just thought it was all really cool, so I fell in love with all of it. Also, like, if you watch PewDiePie doing his family vlogs in Japan, it's so precious. Granted, Japan has its problems just like America. Every country has its problems, but still, super cool country. And then Hawaii, I have always been a tropical beachy person. I freaking love the beach. I love tropical. I love water. I love snorkeling. I would love to learn to surf, just stuff like that. So my goal, I also love hiking. So that's like my more outdoorsy side of me, my more beachy, outdoorsy side of me. And so I'm really excited to also have fun with that side, and give you guys all the beachy, outdoorsy content as well. And yeah, it's, and then right after that, I have like literally the beginning of my summer is jam packed with trips. So it goes end of next week, or sorry, end of next month, end of May, I go to Japan for like a week or two. Super awesome trip. I mean, it's probably one of the best years to go. And then after Japan, I get back. And then end of June, I go to Hawaii. So I get back from Japan. I have a few weeks of being here and streaming and everything. Then I go to Hawaii for my birthday. Then I come back from Hawaii. Oh, don't know why it's doing that. And then I come back from Hawaii and I have only a couple days, and then I pack, and I drive out to LA for AXLA, for Anime Con LA. So where I'll be hanging out with like Swaggy. I don't know if any of you guys know these people. I'll give you guys the list of a lot of the creators I'll be hanging out with. While I'm in Japan, I'll be hanging out with some of my IRL friends mostly. When I'm in Hawaii, I'll be with a lot of my Christian content creator friends. So if you guys know who John Michael is, John Michael Howell, Avery, Ashdown, I'm pretty sure Sia will also be there. My friend, Josh, Rodriguez, which Josh is the cameraman for Bryce Crawford. I don't really know Bryce Crawford personally. I'm more friends with Josh than I am him. Yeah, a bunch of like those content creators, the Christian content creator friend group. And then so I'll get to go to Hawaii and celebrate my birthday with them. So I'll also probably be posting a bit of Christian content while I'm out there. Admittedly. And then whenever I get back, and I go to Anime AX, I'll be with all my like anime cosplay friends. And those people, that's gonna be, well, internet is not doing too hot. Okay. That should be Swaggy Cucumber, Kyle, if you guys know Pretty Miku, Nathan Shine, Ronnie, Rockruff Cosplay, Seth Haslip, Xander Small, Orna Cosplay. Yeah, there's a lot more, but those are the people that I kind of like talk to more. And then hopefully also in the near future, I will also hopefully be able to visit Miki as well and make content with Miki, and maybe even like meet Modsi as well and make content. I want Miki to take me on a motorcycle ride really bad. So that'll be really exciting because if you guys don't know, Miki does like more motorcycle content. And also another really cool thing. I had a dream. I had a dream, and that dream was to, I don't know, I just got inspired. I was like, you know what? I want to be in music videos. That would just be really fun. Like, imagine being known as like the music video girl. That would just be really fun. So I decided, okay, What if I just DM'd a bunch of people? Like, I have a bit of a following on Instagram. Maybe they'll see it. Maybe they're more likely to see it. What if I just DM'd a bunch of artists that I like or that I have connections to and just asked them, hey, can I be in a music video? So I did. And nothing's like 100% confirmed, but I did have some people actually already reach out and go, dude, I'll keep you in mind. Yes, I'll keep you updated. And do you guys want to know who those people are? If you guys listen to Christian music, you'll know this one, Forrest Frank. If you listen to Christian music, you also know this one, Corey Asbury. My friend, John Michael Howell. My friend, Jeremiah Miller. One of my friend's friends as well. Also, his name is... Sorry, my nose is so stuffy. If you guys know who Alex Sampson is, him as well. And I doubt this will happen, but he did comment. He hasn't read my DM, but he did comment on one of my recent Instagram posts. And he hasn't read my DM yet, but hopefully we can make it happen. David. They got, you know that song from Invincible? You guys know David. Trust me, you know who David is. Trust me. I'm going to play one of his songs on stream, and you'll know who I'm talking about. This song? I'm working on it. I'm gonna get him to respond to my DM. I'm going to. He's commented on one of my posts before. You can find it. I pinned it. It's my second most recent Instagram post. And I also, for those of you who were here for the 24-hour stream, if you do end up at Anime Expo Los Angeles, you'll get to see this cosplay in person. I'm getting my hair redone to be a bright, like, instead of just red, I'm doing like bright orange, like very much redhead ginger. And the cosplay, one of the many cosplays I'll be doing actually came in. This is test one. I ordered a couple different to make sure to test the quality or mix and match them. I will be cosplaying Adam Eve. The cartoon version, the less sexual one, a more modest version, the one with shorts. But yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I'm hoping if I like post enough and like manage to get that attention enough, especially if I do manage to be in these other music videos and stuff. I'm just saying it would be pretty sick. Do you guys know Baby No Money? Do you know who Baby No Money is? So, you know how, like, his whole thing, like, a big reason he got, like, really popular is because he's literally everywhere. Like, he collaborates with literally anyone and everyone. I really find that so cool and fun, and I kind of, like, it's become, like, a new thing that I want to do. I kind of just want to, like, do everything and collaborate with anyone, and everyone. I just think it would be really fun. Hence why I'm really pushing, like, traveling and going to these events and stuff like that. I managed to reach out to, do you guys know, is it Julie? You know the people who do, like, the videos where it's, like, 20 anti-vaxxers versus one doctor, or, like, stuff like that? I might be on one of those eventually soon. The side quest dude, yeah, I also want to do side quests. I'm a very much, I want to do everything in life at all times, and so I just think it would be a really cool thing to do that. I want to visit my friends. I have friends in New York. I have a friend who does animation and is, like, big with, like, animation YouTubers. I would love to do videos with them as well. If you guys don't know, I love also doing art, and I also very much think voice acting is really cool. I'm not the greatest at it, so I just thought it would be a really fun thing to maybe collaborate with those people, or Princess Pizza G, who makes pizzas and is like a pizza, like huge pizza Twitch streamer. She invited me out to New York to make pizzas with her on stream, so doing stuff like that. If you guys know one of my friends, what's his is his Instagram just Ian? Let me make sure his Instagram is the same as what I'm thinking. Yeah, Ian Kyo. He makes foodie content, big foodie content creator. I worked with him one time with like a brand deal thing, and so we became really good friends through that. We get along really well. We've already talked about it. Next time I'm in Dallas, gonna come over to his place and make foodie content. Jaden Animations collab win or Odd Ones Out. I do not know Jaden Animations. I don't know Odd Ones Out. Shifty, thanks for a follow. One of my friends knows Odd Ones Out, but I wouldn't say I do. The animation YouTuber that I'm friends with is Infamous Swoosh. He's super awesome. He also loves Jesus. He's literally such a funny guy, and like he also well, I'm not going to say this because I don't know how much he says about like where he lives, but he also lives somewhere where I'm planning on visiting where other people that I also want to collaborate are, so it just works out. Then I have a lot of friends who do music who live out in Nashville area, like Tennessee, and so I'm planning on visiting them and making content with them. I have a lot of friends out in LA who do Christian content creation, so I'm planning on also doing that eventually. Like, I would love to make content with them. I just want to do it all. It just all sounds so fun. So that's my goal. My goal is to just freaking do it all. Just have fun with it. And stop taking it all so serious. Like, I feel like I get so caught up in like the business mindset grindset of making content that I've like taken it way too seriously, and so I just want to have fun with it. Sam Solik collab when? Guys, if y'all manage to get Sam Solik to collab with me, I that would be awesome. I would actually really have fun with that. I don't think he would ever respond to any of my DMs or comments. I could definitely try. But if Sam Solik's ever in Utah and you guys ever want to spam the crap out of him, I would love to go through a workout with him. I might cry a little bit because his work, because I don't think I'm not that much of a fitness person yet, but I feel like it would be a really fun time. Like, literally anyone you guys can think of would be fun. The only place I draw the line at is like, I could see myself, like, I have a lot of mutuals who like have done stuff or have like the number of like Baby No Money and stuff like that. But I would never work with Baby No Money. I don't think I would, at least, just because a lot of his songs and content are like super sexual. And as you guys know, like, for me, a big part of my spiritual beliefs and morals is being very on the modest side. Granted, a lot of my friends who do cosplay aren't very much on the modest side. So when you guys see me posting content, I might be in a modest cosplay, but some of my friends might not. Do not hate on them. They have different spiritual beliefs and moral beliefs, and that's totally fine. I get to just be my own. I get to be a light in my own right and in my own way, and I get to love these people no matter what they're doing with their life. It's their choice, bro. Sam is scared of women, so he'd probably not. That's literally what I'm saying. I don't think he would ever respond to me. But I think it would be so funny. Oh my gosh. Imagine like Gamer Girl works out with Sam Solik. Sam Solik's like uncomfortable the entire time. I'm just asking him questions on like, is this good form? Is this like and he's just like so uncomfortable. Like, there's like, you know how The Office, like, what if it's like a vlog, but it's filmed like The Office style, and it just like zooms in on his face all the time, being super uncomfortable? I feel like that'd be so funny. Thanks for the hydrate. You're convincing me I'd want to see that. Now, that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be so funny. I have so many ideas. It's just hard to make them actually happen. Hi, Arkanai. Welcome in. I want to create a Discord called Space for Grace for hurting, broken, and fallen Christians who've been rejected by everyone, including Christians, a place where they can grow and find healing. Do it. Just do it. That's what I'm doing this year. I'm just doing it, or at least I'm trying my best. Granted, I do struggle with, I think the word for it is executive dysfunction. I do struggle with that a little bit, and so it makes it hard to just do it sometimes. But I am just doing. Also, I'm gonna be playing with slime while talking now, because I don't know, ADHD. I don't know. Bro is sweating profusely when you ask him a simple question. How are you? Oh my gosh, Argonite, thank you for asking. How are you? I have been, I've been a lot better. For those of you who don't know, I went through like a little moment where life was just a lot. This past whole year, I've been moving. I haven't had a place to call my own for about a year. Thank you for the follow. And it's also really hard because like right before that whole year, the end of the year before that, it was like my popularity and content creation and stuff like that just suddenly like snowballed and things were going really, really well. And then it felt like my life just hit it at a stopping point. And I understand that, like, first of all, numbers don't really matter. It's not why I do this. But second of all, that numbers are like that, you can recreate that same effect. As long as you just keep going, eventually things will snowball again. So I'm not really worried about that. But the problem has been that like this is something that I'm passionate about, and I was kind of put on hold with my passions for about a year straight. And more than that, I didn't have a space to call my own or proper privacy for about a year straight. I also had no idea what life was going to look like. I didn't have a daily routine or a solid foundation other than like Jesus, obviously. Fabinator, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Mwah! W Prime sub. And so this whole past year was just really, really rough. And now that I'm finally moved into a place, it's almost harder to move in. Like, had I left the place that I was before and then moved into a place like within a month or two after, or even 3 months or 4 months after, instead of 12 months later, I think I probably would have. I think it's been like 16 months later. I think I probably would have been already done with everything by now. I think I would have already been in a groove, and I would have already been on top of posting again. I would have already like had a daily routine. All of my furniture would be done. The house would be cleaned. All the boxes would be gone. Things would be done by now. And I honestly think more than that, they would be done within like 3 months of moving in, you know? Unfortunately, I think that I'm having a year straight of just not knowing where you're going to end up, and like constantly being like, okay, are we good now? Oh, are we good now? No. Okay. Are we good now? Just constant, almost like being disappointed at every turn. It's caused an intense mental exhaustion. And so now that I'm finally moving into a place, I feel a little overwhelmed, and it's hard. Like, although I want to get a daily routine, I feel like I can't prioritize properly. I feel like even if I want to get something done really bad, it's hard to get out of bed to do those things, because there's just part of me that's like, what if we just have to get up and move again? Or like, just because like I've already been like mentally doing all of it for a year plus, and I haven't had a chance to like calm down, and I still haven't. And so it's just almost a bit of mental exhaustion recently in a way. And I know, like, I don't even have my bedroom set up. I literally just have a mattress and a TV. Like, imagine for like months, imagine for a year you never had your own place, and then you finally have your own place, and then your bedroom for the first 4 months of moving in is just a TV and a mattress, and you're staring at all the things and the list of things you need to do now that you've moved into a home, all the cleaning you have to do, all the organizing you have to do, all the getting rid of boxes and fixing things, and light bulbs went out that you have to do, and but you also want to be able to go to the gym every day, and you also want to be able to meal prep, and you just got to be on your top of your dishes, but you also want to get back to posting again, but you also need to prepare for these trips, but you also need to do this brand deal, but you also need to make sure all your laundry's done. You know, but like it's usually not that hard, right? But the fact that I'm so mentally exhausted from everything for a year straight, it's really hard recently. And like I'm having a really hard time getting things done and like having the motivation to do it, or not getting like that like in my head where I just get so overwhelmed with everything that needs to be done that I freeze. And I know the concept of like take it one step at a time and eventually you'll look back and it's done. And that's what I've been doing, but it is kind of miserable in the middle of that because every step I take, it feels like I'm getting nowhere. And I know when I look back, I'm going to be like, oh, wait, like I've gotten really far. But in the middle, while you're in the midst of taking those steps, it's kind of miserable. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's kind of how I've been doing. And then also on top of that, of course, my PC wants to give me issues. So now I have to set an appointment to go make sure my PC can get fixed. My car also, the sun visor in my car broke off. And it's really annoying because it's not even completely broke off. Thanks for a follow, Cuphead. It's just hanging by a wire to my left, which is causing like a really bad distraction when driving around. Which makes it not the safest to drive long distances. And I need to use my car to drive a road trip later in like a couple months. But which is like, oh, that's in a couple months. You could always take it to get fixed later, but I'm going to be traveling, so I only have so much time until that time's going to come back really quick basically. So I have to figure out that, and then I have to like I was an idiot and I bought some things on Amazon that actually I didn't measure and they didn't fit, and now the whole shipping issue and returning issue was being really difficult. So Nick was actually helping me with that. And I finally have that figured out, but now I have to go in person to return those things. And then I also have to stay up on my groceries. And I don't know, just little things like that that aren't that big of a deal, but they add up over time. And when you're mentally exhausted, it can feel like a lot more than it actually is. And I don't know. Did the music just stop? Ah, my bad. Play. There we go. Can you greet my friend Timo Corbinian Kether? He's a very huge fan. Hi, Timo. T-Mobile. BMO from the hit show Adventure Time. Hurricane Bazooka, thanks for the follow. Hi, Josh. Hi, DK. I've been good, busy with work, and God is good always. Dude, where do you work at, Arcanine? I feel like I ask this a lot, but I get things jumbled up in my head a lot, but it's always interesting to learn about what you guys do with your lives. Like y'all are so interesting. Way more interesting than I am. I don't know why I'm the influencer, honestly. Y'all are way more, y'all have so much more going on in your lives than I do. Y'all are so much cooler than me. So much more interesting. I don't really deserve the spotlight by any means, but here I am. Thanks for the follow. For some reason, you guys think that I do deserve to be here. Don't know why. How are you feeling in Utah overall? Utah itself is gorgeous. Like, it is so beautiful outside right now. Spring in Utah is freaking stunning. There's, like, cherry blossoms in Utah. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that. Thanks for the follow. So, I'm seeing freaking cherry blossoms and snow-peaked mountains outside, but it's literally 70 degrees and the grass is like vibrant green. It looked like someone took the saturation and just upped it about 50%. It feels like I'm back in 2020 where the indie aesthetic was viral and everything was like 100% saturation and vibrance. Like that's what it feels like right now. And I'm like, this is spring. I don't know what summer's going to be like in Utah. Now, however, the only thing I do struggle with in Utah is I don't have a lot of friends here. And finding a good church that's not Mormon. That's probably my main issue. Or that doesn't hate on Mormons, cuz I don't care to go to a church just so that they can bash on another religion. I think that's not what Jesus died for. I can understand going, hey, this is not a good God, like that's not the real gospel. Here is the real gospel. Okay, awesome. But like you can just say the real God, like the true gospel, like again and again. Like you don't have to constantly be bashing on something to like, like I don't know. And I feel like that's a big thing here for non-Mormon Christian churches. Thanks for the follow, Dezo. So I'm having a bit of a I'm in a bit of a pickle trying to find a good church out here. I'm sure there are some. The few that I found that are pretty good are actually just seed churches. They're very small, like a max of like 15 people, which is like, of course I want to be a part of that, but I already have my home church and I don't want to plug in so deeply into a seed church when I know I'm not going to be here forever. Shada, thanks for the follow, and I also just don't feel called to right now. So you need to link where you got that white dress in your last Instagram post, girl. Oh, the princess looking dress, they're all from at Lace Made. It's in my the link. Well, the brand that I got it from, you can find in, if you look at like what do you call it? The caption of the post. You can literally click on at Lace Made, and you'll find all the dresses that I wore in that post there. I love their dresses. They make me feel like a literal Disney princess. And as you guys know, I have like two sides to me. I have my like kind of low key, a little bit edgy indie gamer girl, like anime, that side of me, like that fun little skater girl side of me, whenever it comes to fashion. But I also have I have like my more like clean girl aesthetic, comfortable aesthetic. Then I have my more summery indie aesthetic, but then I have my ultra girly, super pretty frilly aesthetic. And those dresses, let me tell you, they do something for me. Alan, thank you so much for the follow. Bro has two wolves. You wouldn't understand. It's hard being a Sigma alpha male wolf in a beta male society. What's different about Mormons? They believe in the golden tablets. They believe in the Book of Mormon. And they believe that there was an addition to the Bible years later, and that Jesus came to the Americas and added that addition to the Bible, and specifically went out of his way to come to America to do that. Me personally, I don't believe that, but I also find it very interesting to listen to what they have to say all the time, because I can't sit here and tell you every single thing that's different from the Book of Mormon and the Bible, because I haven't sat there and studied it myself. So I'm not going to sit here and try to like debate or anything about it. I just simply do not believe that the Book of Mormon is from God. But if you do, that's your beliefs. I'm not going to fight you on it. But if I feel like Holy Spirit wants me to say something, then I will, but that's God. God's got to do the talking, not me. You know? PewDiePie wife vibes. I get that a lot. A lot of people say I look like Marcia for some reason. I don't really see it. I don't think I look like Marcia. Nick does remind me of like old PewDiePie a lot and old Markiplier a lot. So maybe in that way. Maybe that's just because maybe in that way. I don't know. Hi, Tyrant. What part of Utah are you in? I will not share that, simply because I don't want to dox myself, and I've had people stalk me before because people are creepy and weird online. Unfortunately, that's part of why, even though I love community and I love you guys so much, I literally was a little bit of an idiot doing this. But I used to, like, if you guys ever said, like, when I used to live in Dallas, and you guys anyone from the community, especially the Discord community or whatever, was like, oh yeah, I'm coming into Dallas soon. If I had a guy friend who could come with me, because I wasn't dating at the time or anything, and I had a free day or something, I would literally go meet up with you guys. Like, I would go out of my way to like go hang out with you guys for a day and meet you guys in person, because I freaking, the fact you even like I just really love community, and I love you guys so much more than you know. It's really cool. But unfortunately, some people take that a little too far. Unfortunately, some people take advantage of that. Unfortunately, it's just unsafe. It is, being a female, especially, even men on the internet have it unsafe. So being a female, especially in the gaming world, especially, or the anime world, especially, it's just very unsafe. So there's a lot of precautions I've had to change, and a lot of ways that I talk to you guys that I've actually had to change as I've grown in size. And it's really unfortunate because I literally, like, this might sound dramatic, but it's true. I literally used to like cry. I used to cry and like sob because I couldn't be as close to you guys anymore. I know that sounds so dumb, but genuinely, like, I have a love for you guys. I genuinely do. Like, I want to see you guys joyful. I want to see you guys feel loved. I want to see you guys succeed in life. Like, I really do care about you guys, even if it sometimes doesn't seem like that. Sometimes I care about myself more. Sometimes I can be very selfish and I slap myself out of it. I have those moments. That's also what I, part of why I have Jesus, is so that he can take me out of those victim mindsets and stuff where like maybe my life, I just get a little too, you know, full of myself, and I'm like, oh, I have my life so hard, even though like I literally have like one of like the top 10% of people in my age group to like in terms of like having it easy, but for some reason I still struggle mentally. It's crazy. Um just in different ways than I did whenever I wasn't doing well, financially or work wise, you know, like your struggles aren't going to go away just because your financial situation's better, or because you're more popular. I mean, I feel like that's a lesson we've all learned, but it's hard to remember that that's true, especially when you look at people online who look like they're living it up. It's not reality. It's just not. Does that mean that they don't have it maybe a bit easier than you in terms of like day-to-day life? No, I probably have it easier than many people in terms of day-to-day life. Does that mean that whenever I have a hard day that it's not hard? No, it's still hard mentally. Um, and I think it's 100,000% okay to like struggle. I think it's ridiculous to tell someone, hey, you're rich, just because you're rich and you broke an arm, you're not allowed to cry. This guy's poor and he broke his arm. He can cry. Like, it's like, y'all, both these children broke their arms. What does their financial situation or what does their life outside of breaking their arm have to do with how they react to breaking their arm? They're hurting. They can cry, you know, like, I don't know, but it's hard for me because to remember that, because I'll still get mad at myself all the time for struggling. You broke your computer again, Yosu? What happened? Too much COD zombies? I'm glad I've made so many mistakes. It teaches you a lot. You'll know who are good people when they respect your boundaries. That's facts. That is true. I think sometimes there is also an aspect that a lot of chronically online people have mental struggles. And whether it's their fault or not, like whether they're good people or not, they could be really good people. But sometimes, your brain can change in a way where like suddenly like these parasocial relationships, especially nowadays, I think more so it's also just the fact that nowadays parasocial relationships are so normal. Thanks for a follow, my lord. Parasocial relationships are so normal, and so are just being online is so normal, and making friends online and stuff is so normal, that something I've noticed is like parents aren't really like instilling in their children, hey, just because you know where someone lives, if you don't know them personally, it doesn't, just because you know where they live doesn't mean it's okay to show up there. That's not okay. But parents aren't teaching that, mostly because a lot of kids nowadays don't even leave their house, so the parents don't think they need to teach stuff like that because it hasn't come up yet. And so it's very normal nowadays, not even just me, but I know like people who aren't even Twitch streamers. I know a guy who does like basketball content, and he's had like teenage kids, no harm, they don't mean any harm, but they just show up at his house and like knock on the front door to say hi. because they found out where his address is and they think that that's fine. They genuinely had no harm, but they genuinely thought that was okay. And they weren't like, it wasn't like they had mental disability or anything that was causing them to think differently from the normal person. They're just kids who literally their parents never taught them that. And unfortunately, with like, I guess how society is right now, with the media being so big and so like new still to an extent right now, and a lot of kids not leaving the house. So like I said, those situations don't come up where their parents have to teach that. It's becoming more and more unsafe. Like even more unsafe than it was before to some extent. Maybe it's safer in some ways, but in other ways it is much more unsafe. Not because these people have ill intentions, but because people don't understand privacy the same way we used to. Because a lot of us don't have that privacy anymore, like especially with the internet. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost an epidemic. The internet's so broken, so many social boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. Hi Jack, welcome into chat. People just have no control. I think part of it's also to blame on the parents, which like halfway, like I'm not gonna fully blame it on the parents because I can understand why the parents haven't done anything because it's so new to them they didn't even think to do anything about it. But also at the same time that doesn't clear you from responsibility. You're still a parent. Like like your child is still your responsibility. What your child is doing is still your responsibility at the end of the day. It's the same way where like if a parent is a bad parent and you have trauma from your family, your parents can't fix your trauma for you. You have to. So now even though this trauma was given to you from someone else, even though technically it was someone else's responsibility to not give you that trauma, now that you have that trauma, it's your responsibility to fix it and no one else's. And it sucks and it's unfair, but life is unfair. And honestly, I used to hate that saying because I never understood why things couldn't be fair. But for me now, as a Christian, I'm so happy life's unfair. I'm so happy life's unfair because if life was fair, Jesus wouldn't have died on the cross. Like, if life was fair, we would all be in hell, like, for real. But, like, and, like, whenever I say hell, too, like, I feel like that's, like, a harsh way to say it, too. Because a lot of people, me personally, I honestly think hell isn't even, like, a place. I don't even think it's, like, you being on fire for eternity or anything. I think hell is just being away from our creator. And I think once you know your creator, like if you actually spend time in prayer and like learn Jesus and you learn God and like you get to know him really well, you can't turn back because it's the best thing in the world. Like literally. And so to be without him is hell, yeah. But you don't know that if you've never been with him. You know? I don't know. I'm just yapping. Hi. I feel like I am autistic. I mean, I don't get social cues at time, and I can't connect with people and have a lot of guilt. I wonder how they figure out if I wonder what it means to be autistic genuinely. Because nowadays I feel like everything is considered autistic or ADHD, and not to invalidate. I think that definitely there's an aspect of like not having social cues and stuff, but there's also an aspect of just awkwardness as you grow up, or maybe you just haven't been in certain social situations, so you don't understand the social cues the same way someone else does. Not because your brain is wired differently, but simply because you haven't experienced it yet. I think that there is aspects of that too, and it's hard to be able to tell the difference. But I wouldn't be so hard on yourself because whether it is that you haven't had that experience or that your brain is wired differently, all you have to do is learn, which is really fun. You can turn it into a positive instead of a negative, but that's not to invalidate your experience at all. Still hard. Still sucks. Dude, do you know how many times I've been in a social situation and I get back home and I'm freaking like recounting the entire conversation I had with someone for the first time over and over and over again until I fall asleep. I'm literally struggling to fall asleep because I'm thinking about, oh, I can't believe I said that. I should have said it like this. And I've had to like learn how not to do that. It is so difficult. I do it all the time to myself. And once I get started, I literally have to tell people like friends or or people that I'm close to, hey, like if I do something that's not okay in a social situation, can you wait until like a day later or something to tell me about it? Because if we just finished a social interaction and then you tell me, hey, that was kind of weird, or like, hey, like Hannah, that's kind of like crossing a boundary, like, or like, hey Hannah, like not that you're too much, but the way that you did that to that person might have been a little too much for them or might have been awkward. I can't handle it. I think it's helpful to hear those things because I need to learn, but I can't handle it right after. I need a couple days. Otherwise, I will spiral. Otherwise, I will just be thinking about that same social interaction over and over and over again and how much they probably hate me. And I'll just get like super insecure for no reason. To be completely honest, I'm not a very religious person, but I still very much respect who they are. That's so fine. You don't have to be spiritual or religious to be a part of our community. You just have to be here. You just have to be you. But that also doesn't mean that I won't, like, for me, that's a huge part of who I am, and a huge part of my brand and what I do is just literally being me. And so I'm not gonna like hide that side of me just because it makes someone else uncomfortable. But I'm not gonna like force it down anyone's throat. You're showing up here on your free will, and I'm not like trying to force you to be anything you're not. Just yapping. Hi Gibson, welcome into chat. Welcome. And coming up with better answers, or I should have said that. That would have been clever. Do you guys ever sit in the shower after an argument? I know you do. I know you do this. Sitting in a shower after an argument and just thinking of all the good comebacks you could have said. Oh my gosh, it's the worst ever. Cause it's like also like I know I shouldn't. Something I struggle with a lot when I get angry. I really struggle with saying everything I'm thinking, which is not good. I think the opposite isn't good either. Like Nick, for instance, he will just shut up. Like he won't say anything when he's upset. He'll just go to the other room. He'll leave even. So which also isn't very healthy, actually. Sometimes it can be, but rarely is it. Same with saying everything on your mind, right? And so the problem is a lot of times, and this is partially because of how I grew up and the family that I grew up with, was you just kind of like would get in it really hard in an argument, and then the next day everything would be fine. You almost pretend like the argument didn't happen. Hi, Italian, welcome in. So when I get angry, I really struggle with holding my tongue, and I will say so many things that are so mean. And I don't mean any of it. Like, I genuinely don't mean it. Some of it's not even like insults. It's just like, it's almost like I'll say like false beliefs, like lies that I know are lies. I know this isn't true, but it came to my brain, so I'm gonna say it. Like for instance, you never do anything for me. It's like, well, they do things for me all the time. But because that's what I'm feeling in this moment, instead of thinking about it before saying it correctly, where it's like, hey, it feels like you're not showing up for me recently. Even if you are, for some reason, it's not connecting with it. Like, I don't communicate it well. Instead, I'll just hear that thought and I'll take it and it'll just come out before I can even think about it. And it's a big problem because to me, of course I didn't mean it. It's not that big of a deal. Literally, you can forget that I even said it. It's like, because I said it in the heat of the moment. But for another person, it is a big deal because they're not going to think of it like, oh, they just said it. Like, that's, you know? And so that's something for me that I've been trying to work on a lot recently, is learning how to like hold my tongue and like learning when to talk and when not to, right? There needs to be a balance, though. Oh, yeah. It's incredibly hard to find a middle ground when you deal with hurt in opposite ways. Feels relatable. But when you do find a middle ground, I genuinely believe that there's a reason opposites attract so well to an extent. I don't think you should be opposite in everything. I think that can work sometimes. But, like, for instance, me and Nick's, I'm like day, he's like night. He's introverted, I'm extroverted. He will, like, what do you call it? The different attachment styles. I'm like overly attached, he'll detach. Like for instance, when I'll say everything that comes to my mind when I'm angry, he'll leave the room when he's angry, and then it makes me feel like, no, wait, we need to figure this out right now, right now, right now, and he'll go later, 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 you know, total opposites in those ways. But in everything that we love, like we both love video games, we both love hiking, we both love traveling, we both love Japan, we both love the same creators, we both have the same sense of humor, we both enjoy board games, we both have like the same amount of kids that we want when we're older, we both have the same ideas for our future. Thanks for the follow. We both like the same foods, we both have this, like both like the gym and like health, and you know, obviously it's not all completely the same. Like I have some songs that I like that he doesn't, and vice versa, but we tend to like the same music. Stuff like that, right? I think it works so well. It works so well, but there's also more, what do you call it? Have you guys ever heard the word iron sharpens iron? It's a Bible verse, but it's also very popularly known in the common world anyways. Iron sharpens iron. You know what that sounds like? Like iron sharpens iron. Like that's such a good thing, right? Like friends should sharpen each other. They should make each other better. Lovers should sharpen each other. They should make each other better, right? Like relationships should sharpen us, right? But you know what sharpening speaks of? Iron sharpens iron. That speaks of clashing. Imagine like two swords fighting, clashing each other, and it's sharpening the iron as they're fighting in a way. Like it's not pretty. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. I feel like nowadays it's very common that we never want to step on people's toes. And I think there's obviously a middle ground, right? Like you're not just fighting just to fight. But I think like part of why it works so well with me and Nick is there's an aspect of like we don't always see eye to eye, and we'll call each other out. Hey, I don't think that's healthy. Okay, well, what do you know about healthy? You do this. Da, da, da. Hey, I don't think that's healthy. Okay. You don't think that's I think it's healthy. I don't understand why you don't think it's healthy. Finding that middle ground is iron sharpening iron. You two being on opposite ends and working together to meet in the middle rather than going opposite ways, or rather than staying at a standstill and never clashing. It's the clashing that sharpens you. It's the clashing that makes you better, that makes your relationship deeper and sharper, and like it's growth, right? And so I think that whenever two people in a relationship, I don't think you'd ever want to date yourself. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I want the male version of me, or I want the female version of me. I don't think you do. I think you would be very stagnant the rest of your life if that's all you had. And I also think you'd get really annoyed with yourself. If you don't really like yourself that much, what makes you think you'll like another version of you? Most of the people who really love themselves, like, it's not real love, it's just pride. And I don't think it's helpful to have another version of you either, because then that would get in the way of your pride too, right? So like I don't think it's healthy to just have like the same. I don't think stagnancy is healthy. I think it's healthy to have a bit of conflict. Granted, there's a difference between toxic conflict and healthy conflict, but being able to have hard conversations, I think that's really helpful. I think sometimes that can turn into arguments because there's an understanding, a human understanding of like, okay, well, you're still human, I'm still human. We both want to have a conversation, but we're both struggling. So sometimes it turns into an argument. Does that mean our relationship's unhealthy? No. It just means we're human. But if every single time it's an argument, every time, and it's very toxic and like, or you're doing it on purpose to manipulate the person or whatever, there's a difference, right? Thanks for the follow, Jordan Champ. And I think there's a lot of nuances that go into that too, because sometimes it can be very difficult. I've been in a manipulative relationship. Sometimes it can be very difficult to tell the difference of, Are they doing this like genuinely? Are they doing this because they're trying to help? Are they doing this because they're just human and they're struggling right now? Or are they doing this to manipulate me? What's the how can you tell the difference? And it's a very nuanced thing, and I think that's a big part of why you should also have people who are close to your heart that will call you out on things or will see things from a third person point of view. Thanks for a follow. That's also why I advocate for therapy so much. When I was in that manipulative, toxic relationship, if it wasn't for the fact that I had a therapist to literally lean in, and after enough sessions to really grasp everything and really like pray about it and stuff, she literally leaned in and she was like, run like hell. That's not okay. He's being cruel. There's a difference. And she wouldn't be able to tell the difference. She took her time to understand the nuances of that relationship before she gave some sort of like opinionated. No, she came from a third person point of view. That's why I love therapy, because it gives you that third person point of view that's not biased, or not supposed to be. Sometimes they can be. But yeah, I just think, yeah, I don't know. Iron sharpens iron. Think about it. I don't know what we're talking about. I just came in here to wish everyone a blessed and good day and night. Hi, Sigurda. How are you? Hello from France. It's crazy to me that so many people live in Europe or like all over the world and watch me. I have some people who, if I'm doing like a 24-hour stream and I'm up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. streaming, and there's people from like China typing in my chat. Like, it's actually insane to me. Like, it's so crazy that like it's like, wow, like in a way I know someone from every corner of the world. Like, that's crazy. You know, nowadays third world countries have TikTok. They have smartphones. That's how easily accessible social media is nowadays. There's people in like third world countries with these things now. Love is the symmetry that cries when it loses the other half. Sometimes I feel like you like. Do you like to write poetry, Farian? I feel like I get that vibe from you. Froggy, thanks for the follow. You like EU? I think Europe is sick. I don't think America or Europe is better than the other. I think they're just different. I think it's whatever suits your personal lifestyle and life the best. I think America has a lot of cons, but it also has a lot of pros. I think Europe has a lot of cons, but it also has a lot of pros. I think they both suck and they both are great in their own ways. And I think it's whatever suits you and your family and your life needs. But if you want the more entertaining answer, I mean, today's Therapy Thursday. I'm being a little more just like yappy rather than just like saying the funny answer, you know? If you want the funny answer, I hate British people. Their fake accents. What you mean? You want a spot of tea? Sorry. What country, Nestor Lanio? Kyoya, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Prime sub. Mwah. Okay, it's starting to hit that time of day. Usually Therapy Thursdays are shorter streams anyways. I think I'm going to look at maybe finding someone to raid today. So I'm going to go ahead and end things on TikTok. I might chat a little bit longer. I think I'm going to chat probably for a little bit longer here on Twitch with you guys. So don't worry, I'm not leaving yet. But those of you on TikTok, if you want to keep chatting for a little bit longer, come over to my Twitch, link in bio, or HNNHXS. Once again, HNNHXS on Twitch. Come follow my Twitch, join the Discord, !Discord and chat on Twitch to press that link. To just and yeah, like I'm live most days and they're pretty fun, I think. Sometimes you guys think I'm entertaining, so all right, I love you guys so much. Bye okay, so now that those guys are gone, I'm just kidding. Thanks for the follow. I just tuned in. Glad I caught the stream, though. Well, welcome in, cries in British. Oh, Cafe. Tips for going on Twitch other than being good looking? Okay, hear me out. There are so many gorgeous people. There's pretty women and hot men on Twitch that you don't know exist because they have max 10 viewers on Twitch. It's not just about being pretty. Yeah, it can help. The halo effect obviously helps. Like, it psychologically, it helps when something looks good to the eyes. But just because you're pretty doesn't mean you're going to make it in life. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It definitely helps. It's a benefit. But if you don't use it well, it's not going to get you anywhere. And there's so many people on Twitch who are pretty and don't have a following. You want to know why? Literally, you're not going to grow on Twitch just by Twitch streaming. You have to post on other platforms. You can't just Twitch stream. You have to grow a presence somewhere else and then bring them here. This isn't the beginning of Twitch anymore. Pokimane, Imaru, all these people, you know how they got big? They were here in the beginning. They were here at the right time. They got lucky. Or they were dating someone who got lucky and then they got clout from it. And maybe they were already entertaining or good looking or whatever when they dated that person, or they were best friends with that person. So people, were gravitated towards this person, right? But if you could be the best at something, you could be like the absolute best videographer, communicator, funny. You could be the funniest person in the whole world, genuinely. And if you don't put yourself out there or get yourself in front of an audience, no one's going to know you exist. Following you just for you being pretty, GG, that's fine. Like I said, like that, it definitely helps. Thanks. Thanks for thinking that. I know that's honestly a big compliment. It's really boosting the ego, you know? What's up, la 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 la, tra la 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 la. Yeah, my biggest recommendation, part of how I grew, was I posted 3 times a day, every day on every single platform. I haven't been doing that for like a year plus now. I've been in a standstill for about a little over a year or so. Right now, my analytics are really low compared to what they were when I was pursuing that. So just imagine how much better it was when I was actually pursuing those goals, right? So posting 3 times a day, every single day on every single platform, they don't have to be the best content ever. It doesn't have to be good content. You're just getting people to know your face. You're just getting people to know your name. You don't have to be good at what you do to get people to know your face and name. Once they know your face and name, then you can start putting out the really good content and not have to put as much volume out there in terms of content. You don't have to put as much out. Yeah, that's my advice. Other than that, really push community. Really try to connect with your community. Really try to have people play games together, join your Discord a lot, be a part of it. It might not seem like it now for a lot of you who are here now, but when I first started streaming and gaming and really pursuing this, I was in my Discord playing games off stream after I streamed 6 hours straight. I would stream 6 to 8 hours, 5 days to 6 days a week. And then after I got off stream, I would hang out in my Discord and play games in my Discord chat. Daily. And I was posting 3 times a day on every single platform. So I don't think it's just that I'm pretty. There's much prettier girls out there. I definitely think it helped. But I don't think that's the only reason, you know? That's my main piece of advice. You know? Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's all I have to say about the matter. Drake! Hey, Drake! Was good. We got Perpetual in the chat. In the shot. I need to go work out today, y'all. I need to work out. For real. I think I'm gonna go hit chest today. Something I've been doing this week, only this week, I actually haven't hit abs, ever. And I finally started hitting abs this week. Let me tell you, my abs have never hurt. It's never hurt so much. I've never been so sore. I've been really sore from working out before. But something about working your abs till failure. Because I can't really, how do you even stretch? You can't even really stretch your abs. bench PR. Oh, I can bear. I pretty much just bench the bar. I think I can put 5s on each side of the bar and be able to do 4 sets of 4. But in terms of like actually doing like a good amount of working reps and stuff, I just bench bar. Like I don't really care about upper body as much, but I enjoy doing upper body, but I don't try to like, the only time I ever really, I think I like back and shoulders. I don't really care about chest. Chest days, chest and tricep days, I just consider easy days. I just go through the motions and I have fun with it, and I still push myself. Like if I'm able to do the amount of working reps at a low weight that like too easily, I'll go up in weight. But I don't really care to be like, I don't care about building this too much. I like building this, you know. I just want base muscle. I'm not trying to be jacked upper body, but I love having base muscle upper body, so I'm still pushing myself, but I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to be a pro weightlifter. I'm just lifting like I'm trying to be a pro weightlifter and working out like I'm trying to be a pro weightlifter, so I can build a base amount of muscle mass while I'm in my 20s that will last me the rest of my life. So that all I have to do is work out 4 to 5 times a week, whatever workout I'm doing, whether that's Pilates sometimes, whether that's a full body workout, whether that's still weightlifting on the lighter side the rest of my life, and still maintain muscle. That's literally all I want. But I started working out, but it's still fun. You get really into gym when you get into gym. It's still really fun to get into it. Hi, Yagas. Hi, Blocks. Welcome in. Dude, you should join the Discord if you're new. Just saying,
taper fade.
Low taper fade. Yeah, so all that being said, also, so yeah, I've been training abs, and it has hurt so bad. The way that I've been trying to do.
Bobr, kurwa!
Bobr, kurwa. I'm trying
Ja pierdolę, jakie bydle! Bober!
I'm trying to do weighted abs. It is so freaking hard. I feel like an idiot. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to do weighted abs when you're not used to doing ab workouts. Like it's your first week of doing weighted abs. I feel like a freaking idiot. Like, cause I can't even, I'm doing like the lowest weights possible. Like I'm holding like a 5-pound plate doing V-ups, and I can barely do enough. Like going to failure does not take that long. So win PO box, that's another thing on my list. Trust me, I'm really trying my best. I really am. It's just not good enough. I've been really struggling with prioritizing things and like figuring out what to do first and what to do second, and like mental exhaustion and stuff. But I'm going to make it my goal to have PO box done before I go to Japan. Like there is no, it's hopefully sooner than that, but like there's no like negotiation. It's happening before then, which is at the end of May. Hey, Pokemon card pool. Can we get a bicep flex?
Hello
if
there.
you insist. Does that look good? Is it starting to look good? Oh my gosh! Wait. My nose is stuffy. Guy who loves Jesus, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Let's go. Thank you so much. Mwah. W10 gifted. Let's go. Does it look good, guys? Do I actually look like I work out? Yay! Joseph got his computer to boot. Let's go. Yes. So like if you guys, I will do this now. If you guys redeem 10,000 of your channel points, we do a Pokemon card pool. We're doing Pokemon Scarlet Violet 151 first. But also, usually on any sort of event, every once in a while, we'll do a whole stream of just doing Pokemon card pools if I have collected a lot of Pokemon cards. Or be, on event streams, like 24-hour streams and stuff like that. Usually I do, I have one of our sub goals as just opening a whole bunch of Pokemon cards to see what we get. But yeah. You're beautiful muscle. You exercise a lot. Hannah's yoked. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'm really trying. It makes me really happy to start seeing progress because I really don't feel progress at first. When I start to see progress, it makes me very happy. Hannah gonna be able to go hand in hand with Invincible soon. Trust me. Oh yeah, they're gonna have to invent a machine for me to lift because none of the weights are enough. Oh, that sounds so cozy. Bro's in his Minecraft phase. Elgad's in his Minecraft phase. Can you play with Fortnite? I have played Fortnite before. I don't know what you mean. The grammar is a little off there. Okay. We're starting off with a Leaf Energy. Guys, what are we trying to... Drake, the local Pokemon guy. What's the best card in the set we could pull in 151? I can't remember off the top of my head. What's the top 3? Ooh, Voltorb. Anything is possible for Rue. We got Krabby. We got Sandshrew. Okay, peace out, Girl Scouts. Speaking of Girl Scouts, the best Girl Scout cookie is Thin Mints. Second is probably Samoa's. Okay, all right. Let's see. We're getting there. Thanks for the follow, Borgear. Oh, we got a Mewtwo pool. Wait, that's so sick. Yo. It's not like a full art or anything, but just the fact that it's Mewtwo is actually crazy sick. Wow. That's a cool... Oh, that would be a sick full art. Oh my gosh. Thanks for the follow, Trash Panda. Okay, ready? We got a Diglett. Look, it's my thumb. Okay, ready? We got a Dodrio. I think that's it. Okay, nothing crazy, but we did pull a Mewtwo. Mewtwo's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't care if he's not a full art. I don't care if he's like crazy rare. I'm keeping this one. Every Mewtwo I come across, I like to keep. Same with Lucario. Same with Ninetales. Usually the same with Evolutions if the art is cute. Yeah. That was a sick Mewtwo. Bye, Gaila's Jesus. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. W gifted subs. Okay. Oh my gosh. I have to pee really bad. I'm surprised I haven't finished my Diet Coke by now. I drink so much Diet Coke. Full art Zard is what we want. Yeah, I knew Charizard was one of them. For sure. Okay. I think I'm going to... Sorry, I'm looking up something. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for today because I need to go gym and I still need to like do some meal prepping tonight and laundry and other like moving in various things. However, I really appreciate you guys for hanging out for so long. Diet Dr. Pepper has way better flavor variations, but overall I choose Diet Coke. But if it's like a Diet Dr. Pepper, like vanilla Dr. Pepper, like cream soda Dr. Pepper, those are pretty good. Okay, I love you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow for stream. I will be streaming tomorrow evening with Swaggy Cucumber and Miki.exe and Julia. We'll be continuing our Schedule 1 playthrough. So we're continuing the same world we had last time, and we'll probably stream for at least like 4 or 5 hours pretty easily. What I usually do is I chat for an hour beforehand anyways. So join tomorrow for some chatting and some fun game playthrough with some really cool friends of mine who are way funnier than I am and way more entertaining than I am. I love you guys so much. Please go tell Avery hi. Give her a nice raid. absolutely spam the crap out of her chat and make her feel so cool. And don't forget to join the Discord, !Discord and chat. Make sure to check my Instagram for to know when I'm live, as well as my Discord. Without further ado,